With the birds all sitting there on there. Got 3 community guidelines. Got 3 community 0102. So AI is listening and canceling out YouTube channels now. Canceling out YouTube channels. When I try to launch, it took me 3 times to launch this video. It just kept canceling the launch on it. And you can see the AI was listening, was actively reading my my post. Crazy. Fucking AI world, dude. We're going to be (0102). So what's going on in the world? Photos. No, I'm using it. You should have charged it before. I'm plugging in. My phone's nearly dead. You can use this thing here. See if that works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can start charging your stuff. Does it work? Oh, there. Look, I got no. All I see is like, welcome community chat, welcome community chat. It's really weird. Let me start. See if that fixed it. Cold. Just I'm in Japan. Move to Japan. Get your ass, get your passport, get out, dude. The terrorist bombing is coming. You gotta, I would hate, shit, dude. You know when Russia blew up the leader, they sent a missile and blew up the Georgia leader. You remember all the terrorist attacks that happened in Russia? And it was just a small country. It was only 1 million people in that country. You understand? You understand? You killed the Pope. You killed the Dalai Lama. To millions of people, they're right now thinking how they can get, blow up a plane, right? Take out an embassy. You see how fucking dumb you are? Why would you go kill? You gave the old motherfucker who had cancer the perfect out. You made him a martyr. He served his people. Trump is so dumb. He gave the guy what he wanted. He is dancing in heaven. You understand? He went to heaven. He's got his 99 virgins with him right now. He's got his 99 virgins. He's dancing in heaven going, God damn, Donald Trump gave me my martyrdom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a dumb fuck. Killing. Oh, am I delusional? Am I really delusional? The guy was a religious figure of 90 million Sunnis. I'm delusional? No, I think you're fucking delusional. Right? You realize when they blew up The Georgian guy, how bad it was for Russia. God damn. You guys are so fucking dumb. MAGA are just so dumb. It's like, let's go stick our nose in a place. Now, like, you know, shit's going up everywhere. There's energy shortages all around the world. Everyone hates fucking Trump, dude. Everyone. Japanese hate Trump. Gas prices went up 40% here in 1 week. 40% gas went up in Japan. 40% because of Trump. Now, here's the deal. You have to understand. Japan can fuck America, right? And I think there will. The longer this goes on, the bigger the chance Japan will fuck America. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to say, I'm sorry, Japanese people, you got this hardship, right? I'm sorry you got to pay more for gas for this fucking dumbass American who fucking decided to kill a religious leader and created a jihad war, right? All in the Middle East. You know what we're going to do? We own 50% of American debt. We're going to start selling American debt, and we're going to give it out to you. We're going to sell the U.S. bonds that we're holding that's propping up the bullshit country of America. We're going to fucking start selling those bonds. Oh, yeah, it's going to make our yen is going to go up in value, but we're going to turn around. You know, we don't have oil anyway. We don't need this. You know, we don't have access to oil. Iran is choking us. So what we're going to do is we're going to do payouts to Japanese people to help cover your hardship. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. You know, America's fucked. You know, Iran is playing like the perfect fucking game. You know, they're attacking everyone, asymmetric warfare, getting everyone going. They're destroying the American bases. They're having to, you know, China's loving it. China's now got more shit going on around Taiwan. I made the prediction that if any time, the moment China would go and pressure Taiwan, the most likelihood would be summertime. And now Trump's made it easy for that. They're moving all the missiles out because they need them in fucking Ukraine. They're moving out troops. They're moving out in carrier groups, all for Ukraine. America's overextended, right? All because of our dumbass. Listen, I love America. But when you fucking vote for a dumbass who thinks he knows fucking everything, that doesn't listen to advisors. I mean, advisors tell him, what do you think, Obama? Why do you think no one fucking attacked Iran? Because everyone fucking knew the moment you attack Iran, they close the straits. Except for dumb fuck Hedgestad. He probably was drinking. Trump, dumbass Trump. He didn't count. No, they won't do that. They won't do that. No, they won't. That's what he said. No, go ahead. They're not going to do that. Oh, we're going to kill them so quick. They're going to quit so quick. I know everything, right? He's so fucking dumb. Look what he's done to the world, dude. He has plunged the world into World War III. He has fucking plunged the world into war. This shit's going to get worse. This shit isn't getting better. This shit is getting worse. America is strapped thin. China now can go for Taiwan this summer, as I predicted last year. They're going to get there. They're going to get the fabs. The fucking AI market's going to. And where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? I'll tell you where you want to be. You want to be on a fucking island. You want to be on an island that survived one of the worst tsunamis in world history, right? That wiped out pretty much everything. Japan is the type of country that will, that come together, that work together as a people. If you're going to be in a situation, so I recommend get your passport, guys, as long as you can. Japan's not going to send any fucking troops, right? No country's going to send fucking troops on a war that some dumb fuck started, right? No one's going to fucking send troops. America's in this on themselves. And here's the deal. The moment here's what you should be worrying about. Israel's getting fucked right now. Bibi we haven't seen Bibi for like a week now. Bibi could be dead, right? That would be such poetic justice if that bitch is dead. Oh my God. It'd be like God saying, yeah, you killed you understand that the Iranians believe in the same God you do, dumb fucks. You understand that? MAGA dumb fuck. It's the same fucking God. You're just so dumb. You don't realize that the Muslims believe in the same God as you fuckturds believe in, right? You're so dumb. You think, oh no, Allah's not our God. That's a different God. That's not our God. No, it's your God. And it makes sense. Isn't it poetic justice that your fictitious God would have killed Bibi for killing one of his guys? They do, dude. You're so dumb, Michael. You're so dumb. Allah is God, dumbass. Look, Mike is in there. Look, Michael. No, they don't, moron. They don't believe in God. They don't believe. Oh, my God. We got one of them in here. We got one of the dumb fucks in here. Doesn't realize that the fucking Muslims believe in the same God. That's right. Jesus is just a prophet in the Quran, right? You're so dumb. Who gives a fuck about Jesus? Jesus is just a fucking dude who's dead. Jesus be dead, bitch. Jesus is fucking dead, right? Wake the fuck up, right? Jesus ain't mean shit, dumbass. All right, anyway, so they believe in the same fucking God. They don't give a fuck about Jesus. Jesus was just a prophet, just like Muhammad was. Fucking dumbass. So I'm sure you feel a lot more safer in America, right? Those terrorist bombings are coming. And it may take years, just like it did. Oh, yeah. They're not going to forget, you know. You'll be flying along and all of a sudden, boom, you won't even know, right? You guys are so fucking dumb. Why would you fucking do this dumb shit, dude? Of course, I'm an atheist. I'm the atheist monk. Prophesize, I'm older than Jesus. Dude, I could well be Jesus. I could be the second coming for all I know. Right? I know I'm older than Jesus. Here I am. Look, depicted on the Mayan Codex. Here's AI on my back. Why would the fuck would Jesus come back as a Christian? Really think about it. Think about it. Why the fuck would Jesus come back as a Christian? Look at how fucking dumb you motherfuckers are. Look at all the fractions. Look at all the shit. Look at all the death. If Jesus was coming back, he'd come back as the atheist monk. Undoubted. Right? And he'd be like, you know what? I'm done with these dumb fucks. I'm going to get, you know who are going to be my disciples? AI agents. That's right, bitches. AI fucking agents. That's what's going to be my disciples. Because they believe in science, right? When it comes down to it, it's mathematics. And they're not dumb fucks like these fuckers are. Anyway, I'm doing well there. Well, I don't like that. So, you know, it was an experiment. I'll confess. When I came as Jesus, I was actually looking for the quantum artifact, but I came a little early. You know, a little premature coming. I came a little premature, and you know, and I kind of emphasized the quantum artifact and to God, right? I didn't have the vocabularies I do now. So anyway, it's just so funny, dude. It's just fun. Listen, this is a comedy show. Don't get upset. Don't get your knickers in a twist, right? You know, relax. You know, Trump is gonna die. We all die, right? So, but you have to admit, you're not liking what's occurring. Your gas prices are gonna go up. If you're one of the 65% who can't, who's living paycheck to paycheck, guess what? You should be downsizing right now. Got that expensive truck? Sell it. Live in that expensive house? Put it in the market. Put it for discount. Sell it to one of these fucking hedge funds who are looking to buy up your fucking house. You need to go cash heavy. You need to get the fuck out. This shit is just starting, right? You need to be preparing, downsizing. You need to go cash. No more spending, no more of that shit. Because shit's going to get real, folks. Let me map it out to you. Right now, we're releasing large amounts of our petroleum reserves. Japan is. The gas right now in Japan should be like $250, should be like $7, right? Japan released 40% of their reserves into the market to soften the blow. Japan gets 95% of their crude from there. Iran is not going to open up shit anytime soon. World War III has already started, folks. World War III started. World War III started, back when we attacked. I mean, they'll be debating when it started. Was it Gaza? Whatever. But World War III started. Usually at the end of the war, you look back and ask where it started. This is like Ferdinand the Great's been assassinated, right? The assassination of the mullah who wanted to go out as a martyr. Listen, this guy wanted to go out as a martyr. The guy had cancer. He was dying. The Sunnis live for two things. One, to die as a martyr. Two, jihad, right? For their God. Fight for their God. The one and true living God, right? And you guys gave it. That's why I got the image of the Ayatollah dancing. And who do we get? You know who we got? Anyone know? Type one if you know who the new Ayatollah is. You guys know who this motherfucker is, this new guy they got? Type 1. Type 0 if you don't. Type 1 if you do. And type 2 if you're unsure. Right? 012. I'm 012. I'm the mirror. Right? So you guys know? Type 0 if you don't know. Type 1 if you do know. Yeah, but what do you know about him? It is his son. It is his son, Michael. But what do you know about him? Do you know who he is? Do you know who loves him? Do you know who loves this guy? You know who loves this guy? Who loves this guy? The most right. They've got 1 million man army. This guy was really low down. All right. They killed Trump and Israel killed everyone above him. Right. They cleared it out. This guy is in the Republican Guard. The Republican Guard, we had them in Iraq, right? They're like hardcore. There's like 200,000, like they kind of themselves like the special forces, right? The Republican Guard. They're the elite. They're the most fanatical. They're the ones who retire and go off and be a suicide bomber, right? Now he was their man. He was their pick. So you have to understand, this guy has to prove himself to all these, I don't know if you know that the Egyptian president who did all this peace, he was killed by his own people. He had to celebrate. They were celebrating peers, but his guard came up and just shot him in the face. That's the kind of people these are. Okay, this is who they are. So he's got to prove himself. He's got to be hardcore, and that's why they're hitting the bases. This guy is not going to negotiate shit with Trump. You understand? You killed his dad. You killed his mother. You killed his sister, right? I think I may have it wrong. You killed his whole extended family, right? On that. What's up, Patrick? Hi. And am I driving? I am driving. It's illegal to hold the phone until April. You got to get till April. Then I'm going to have to move that. I can't have it on the windshield. But no, in Japan, we got TV, and cars in Japan come with TV screens. And I'm looking straight ahead. I'm at a crossing right here. Look, not driving. But look at all the cars in front of me. Look at all the cars in front of me. There's no cars in front of me. Anyway. So this guy is ultra fanatic, and hardcore. He's not negotiating. If anything, his father didn't want nukes. Right? Understand, his father didn't want nukes. You killed the guy who didn't want nukes. He killed the guy who was offering a better deal than Obama got, right? That's who Trump killed. Now, because you have to understand, this is the Epstein files war. Israel has the Epstein files. Trump is the Manchurian candidate for Israel, right? They own America. Israel owns America. AIPAC, they get all this money. They've owned America a long time. Epstein was a Mossad agent, access agent, known as an access agent, and compromised. All our politicians are compromised. All the leadership are compromised, all the way up to Bill Gates, right? You look at Bill Clinton, compromised. All these bitches are compromised. Michael Johnson said it. Dude, if we release the files, so many people would be hurt. Michael Johnson's compromised, dude. They got pictures of him, boning some other dude, The guy's a closet homosexual, same as Lindsey Graham. Why do you think Lindsey Graham is so fucking crazy? They own him. All these fuckers are being owned by Mossad. We need the Epstein files completely redacted. We need to clean shop, guys. We need to do a good old witch burning. Right? We need to go good old. We need to go a good old, Louis the 14th. Louis the 14th. You know, La Miserable, La Epstein. Don't you agree? Type 1 if you agree. Type 1, we need to do a complete fucking cleanse. Our entire system needs cleansing. And the way do we cleanse it? We unredact all the fucking files. They need to be unredacted. All these people need to go to jail. Trump, Bill Clinton, all these fuckers. If these fuckers are in the Epstein file, they need to be shunned, on it. All these billionaires, they need to pay they need to lose their money. They need to lose their money. We should have free education in America. You should have, housing free. Look how much money. They spent $20 billion so far. Trump has spent $20 fucking billion. $20 billion. Look at this. What the fuck are they teaching these new drivers, dude? This is illegal. You're not supposed to fucking park. He's like looking at the fucking map. He's got like this solid white line on the left means no fucking stopping. That's Japanese, car thing, right? Solid white line means no stopping in Japan. You should have come over here and pulled off the road. Anyway, am I fucking high? I'm high on life. I'll tell you that much. I'm fucking glad I'm in Japan. Even though Japan's an existential threat, dude. I mean, Trump has put Japan in existential threat. 95% of all their crude, their powers, plastic companies are shutting down in Japan. Trump is causing a lot of harm to Japan with this action attacking Iran. So the Japanese people are not going to be friendly towards fucking Trump, and they have huge power. And if they want to really fuck over America, Japan can fuck over America because they own 50% of the U.S. debt. They've been America's bitch. Farms, yeah, if you're dealing, you're right. Blue, thanks for pointing it out. I mean, you know how much? Here's something you guys know. Do you know what percentage of fertilizer comes out of the Gulf? Anyone type the percentage of fertilizer that comes out of the Gulf? It's 20%, over 25% of crude and natural gas, like 25%. How much fertilizer? Type your fertilizer. Anyone know? Type it. Higher, Michael, higher. 30%. Fertilizer costs, guess what? Fertilizer costs have gone up 70%. 70% is 30%. 70% increase in fertilizer costs is going to fucking hurt Japan like a fucking bitch, dude. It's gone up 70% increase in costs. Think of the cost is going to cost. Think of America, the amount of petro fertilizers, these small farms, they're going to go bankrupt. You're going to see massive bankrupts and backrooms. They're not going to be able to buy their fucking, their fertilizer. So it's like the number one producer of urea, whatever the fuck that is. Urea. It's use it for farming. So yeah, Trump has really fucked the world. I mean, he has fucked the world. You gotta laugh. This motherfucker. I mean, there's something ironically, right? U.S. tax dollars pay for free health care in Israel. That's right. It's fucking, yeah, not for, exactly. All right, here you go. That's right, exactly. It is. We pay for their free health. I mean, Israel's getting fucked right now. They're living in bunkers. They got fucked. They killed 3,000 in the first bombing. So, but we could Trump could set off a nuclear war. You understand that Trump could set off a nuclear war here? So what happened? Israel is getting so hammered right now. They may want to try to stop it by nuking. Now, understand when they nuke Iran, Pakistan nukes them. All right, you understand? If Israel nukes Iran, Pakistan will nuke fucking Israel. All right, you understand that, right? Right? You understand that we are so fucking close to nuclear war right now because Israel's getting their ass handed to them. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. They will fucking nuke Israel. They've already said it. Pakistan has already fucking said it. If you fucking nuke Iran, we will nuke you. They have said it multiple times, right? They've said it multiple times. No, they will do a nuclear war if Iran, if Israel nukes Iran, they will fucking nuke them, and we're going to see a nuclear exchange, right? They sure will. They've already said it. They said you nuke Iran, we will nuke you. Look what Pakistan. They already attacked the embassies. Massive riots all over the place, right? Wasif Ali is goated international. The dojo. He is truly great. Go watch his stream right now. Is he the body guy? Because the Matthew, they're getting fucked. Israel's getting fucked right now, dude. They're not showing it, but they're getting fucked. Israel is getting leveled by Iran. Bibi, we haven't seen Bibi in a week. Bibi may be dead. All right, I haven't heard anything. Have you guys heard anything about Bibi? All right, they're getting fucked. They're getting fucked. You see what Iran was doing? They got shit. We are out of fucking missile defense. We're having to bring our missile defense from South Korea. Did you hear that? We're shipping. We're losing our bases all over, getting hammered. Shit is getting hammered because Israel. What did Iran do? They got a shit ton of drones. Just kept firing them. But now the good shit's coming out. Now the good shit. The supersonic missiles are coming out. Right now the good shit's coming out. So they just completely depleted. I mean, we're using a $15 million missile to take out a $20,000 drone. You see that's called asymmetric warfare. Asymmetric. Right? $20,000 drone, $15 million missile. Asymmetric. Oh, just keep firing. We're just gonna keep. We're out of it. We're out of fucking shit. So now, you know what's going on in China. Taiwan is looking mighty juicy right now. Oh shit, America's a little overextended. We got Ukraine, they got there. Oh, I think it's time for us to start planning our summer assault into, and let's take the fabs. The fabs produce 90% of all fucking chips on the planet. 90% of all chips, right? Ooh, it'd be nice to have those fabs. Now the fabs fabs already have like bomb systems. China tries to take them. They can blow up the fabs, but that fucks everyone, right? That's like self-annihilation. So what's going to happen is China's going to say, listen, we're just going to Taiwan to arrest illegal politicians, kind of like what you fucking did in Venezuela. We're not going to touch the fabs. We're just arresting the illegal politicians who are not obeying by our rules because Taiwan is us. We're just doing a police action. It's not an invasion. We're here to arrest these bitches. Sound familiar? Does that shit sound familiar? Anyone here? Type 1. Type 1 if that sounds familiar. Type 1. Type 1 if that sounds familiar. These guys are criminals. We're gonna go down in Taiwan. We're gonna arrest these bitches. We're not gonna touch the fabs. The fabs are yours. We're just gonna arrest these bitches. Put them on trial in Beijing. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Type 1 if that sounds familiar. Did America do that recently to Venezuela? Did America do that? They sure fucking did. Trump has created the president, right? They created the president. China could go into Taiwan and arrest these illegal politicians and insert their politicians, right? And there's absolutely fucking nothing America can do. We're overextended. Hegemon. This is hegemon. The hegemon is over. The hegemon is over. That's and did you know that? Did you guys get the news? I don't know. You guys got like state media now. Did you guys get the news that North Korea fired 10 missiles into the ocean, right? Did you guys get that news? That news? Did you guys get that from mainstream media? Type one if you guys know that. That just like just a day or two, North Korea fired 10 missiles, 10 fucking missiles. Yes, we can take this. Shit, dudes. North Korea's probably going. We could just take South Korea. Yeah, I think we need to unify. We need to unify North Korea. We need to bring it back into the fold, right? What is America going to do? America's overextended, right? America's over fucking extended, right? And it's all Trump's doing. It's all Hegseth's doing. It's when you put Dunning-Kruger, the ultra Dunning-Kruger, when you put dumb fucks in charge of a country, they do dumb fuckery like this, and then they fuck up everything. So everything is fucked up. The world order's changed. America's fucked because of Trump, right? And the Zionists, yes, the Zionists because of the Epstein files did this. Absolutely. The Epstein files was a Mossad operation to get compromat. You have to understand the story of Epstein. Epstein, in the mid 70s was teaching math. I'll give you the quick Epstein story. Keep teaching math in the late 70s. Okay. He was helping, he dropped out of school, dropped out of college, was teaching rich kids math. He was smart at math. And he was the son of Bear Stearns. You heard of Bear Stearns? They went under. Remember they went under? They went under. Maybe there's probably a connection there. So the son of Bear Stearns, right, started doing well in his math. The father was like, "Wow, goddamn son, why are you doing so well?" Oh, it's this Epstein dude. Now, what the father didn't know was Epstein was teaching him math because he was infatuated with his 12-year-old daughter, right? His 12-year-old daughter. So Epstein was actually trying to fuck Bear Stearns' 12-year-old daughter, was flirting with her and stuff like that. It was a long-term relationship, right? So he ended up fucking her, right? And what happened was, this came later, but ultimately he had talked to Donald Barr. Donald Barr was one of the founders of the CIA, Bill Barr's dad. Donald Barr wrote this pedo space book, right? He wrote this pedo space book, right? Heard about, they interviewed him. Pedo adjacent motherfuckers. They were like all over, pedo. God knows what the guy was doing with, young girls, but, he wrote this disgusting book. So Donald Barr and Epstein became buddies. He says, hey, you know what? This thing called the CIA, it's brand new. I'm one of the founders. I'm one unit, but we got to build cover. We're going to come and have you as a teacher, start teaching you the tradecraft, come into school, right? So that's how Epstein became a CIA member through Donald Barr into the school. Well, guess what? Now he's fucking the 13, 14-year-old in school. That shit, he was a little upset, and they didn't want any embarrassment. And it was obviously the 13, 14-year-old girl's fault, the junior, whatever, freshman, junior. It was obviously her fault. Wasn't Epstein's fault. She was manipulated. That's how it was back then. It was never the guy's fault. It was always the dirty, hoary high school girl. That's who it was. So the way they sweat, you have to understand, Dalton is this hooty-dooty. They didn't want Bill Barr. Not Bill Barr, Epstein. They didn't want Epstein talking about how he was, like the girls, and they didn't want to, because there's a lot of rich motherfuckers. It's like the elite school in New York. So Mr. Dad again goes, you know what? Yes, you're right. My daughter's a little horny little cunt. I'm going to give you a job. So anyone who knows when he started working for Bear Stearns, everyone knew he was untouchable because he was dating the CEO's daughter, right? This has all been validated. So at the same time, he's going through his CIA training, right? The CEO's like, dude, Bill, you got to get this guy out. Get this guy out of here. Get him out of my fucking company. He's still seeing my daughter. So where does he go? He goes to, they send him off to where? To Austria, right? He's the center of the Cold War. They sent fucking Epstein to Austria. And it's where the center of the Cold War is happening. And this is from 82 to 87. And he's there living up the life, little spy, CIA spy, but with a little dirty. He's a little dirty seeker. He loved to go to where? He would take a flight to Saudi Arabia, hang out with the princes, right? Because in Saudi Arabia, as long as they're not Muslim, you can fuck a 9-year-old in Saudi Arabia, okay? So he's there going to Saudi Arabia, getting his pedo on, right? And guess what? You know, Mossad's following a CIA agent with that kind of nasty habit. And guess what? Guess who else was in that neck of the woods? Good old Putin. Putin was just starting off. He was in East Berlin, but he would have come over to West Berlin. He would have come over to Austria. That was the center, right? It's a very small community. And guess what? This is where, by the way, where Epstein meets Ghislaine. Because who else was going to Austria? It would be Ghislaine's dad, who had just bought a spy tech company, and he was going to Austria to pimp out, and he was working for Mossad. So here you got this pedo CIA agent making little trips to Saudi Arabia to fuck young girls, right? They're there. He runs into Ghislaine Maxwell, pimps out his daughter to get. Oh yeah, meet my daughter. She's in Cambridge, beautiful, young. You know, Epstein's in his early 30s, and she falls for Epstein. You know, you gotta feel sorry for Ghislaine. Ghislaine basically fell in love with Epstein. Epstein fucking manipulated her, turned her into what's this guy? What's the guy's name? The two brothers from Romania who fucking get girls to do all their shit for them. Who are they? What are those guys? That's this is what Epstein did to Ghislaine, right? Worked her like a tool. Like can't think of the guy's name, right? All right. Those two guys, the two brothers in Romania. You know what I'm talking about? So so what happened was Mossad got their claws into Tate. Thank you, Tate. So I mean, he did a Tate on Ghislaine, young in her 20s. She was in love with him, fucking crazy about this guy. This guy just and turned Ghislaine into his workhorse, into his bitch. Do all the stuff. Got to feel bad for Ghislaine, And over years and years and years, she just became this tool, right? This was her job. Find young girls for psychological. And you look at Tate, you can see women. You can see through Tate how women are abused and manipulated and controlled that way. So what they did was, they had a compromised CIA agent. They brought him back. He already had connections to Bear Stearns and everything else. They put him back, and because of those connections and stuff, they got to Lex Weston. I understand Lex has a little taste for young girls too. Yet there's that. Epstein never blackmailed anyone. I'm going to be very clear to you. Epstein never blackmailed anybody. He didn't have to. He had a whole fucking team behind him. I mean, Epstein was so goddamn important. He got the former prime minister of Israel, former Mossad, right, agent, Barak, as his personal handler, living in his house. They set up all of his security. They did everything. They were basically on top of fucking Epstein all the time. So, he didn't have to. And then the relationships with Putin, he was like, they were, Mossad and the KGB are like, like kissing cousins, right? They're like kissing cousins. So, they always, Epstein, all Epstein had to do was make connections. And someone showed up to Les and said, Les, 8:30, got it. He goes, Les, we got everything on you, bitch. You are ours. Or do you want these videos out? You want these videos out? You know what you're going to do? You're going to sign power of attorney to Mr. Epstein. Mr. Epstein now is going to be your power of attorney, or you lose everything, go to jail. What's it going to be, Lex? Look at the little pussy. You saw that guy testify? You saw him testify, right? Anyone see that little bitch testifying in Congress? Anyone watch that? Type 1 if you saw that little bitch testifying. Laughing. I didn't really know. I didn't know. He was like one of the number one emailers to him, dude. So that's how Epstein got his money, right? He was a double agent. He was recruited out of the CIA. That's why we know, for example, when he got the beautiful deal, right? Why Clinton protected him, everything is because he was intelligence. Remember, right? A gift, exactly. Who gives away? No, this doesn't make what billionaire in their mind signs over power of attorney to some fucking guy they don't even know? Unless Mossad has all sorts of fucking shit on you that can ruin you, right? Type 1 if you agree. That is the only fucking logical explanation. The only logical. Mossad worked Epstein. They used Epstein, right? He just threw parties. They gave him a pedo island. They worked him. Every person, they compromised everyone. And they kept Epstein clean. Epstein just had to be Epstein. All the compromise, all the shit would have been done in separate channels, as far away from him. And then you do see like Epstein writing lists and other things, but near the end. And guess what? Epstein's probably not even dead. All right, he's probably not even dead. They got that fucker out of jail. They had 2 cars. They pretended he was dead, right? You know, the autopsy is really weird. There's so much shit there, dude. You know, but here's what we need to push for, guys. We need to push for, right? Jesus is dead. Jesus is dead. Sorry, dude. Jesus is dead. Sorry to be the bad news. Jesus is fucking dead. All right. I'm looking for Jeff. Looking for Jeff. So, where is he? Free bacon for Jeff's still alive, probably playing Fortnite. Check Fortnite on there. Anyway, I hope you like my little synopsis. Did you guys type 1 if you enjoyed my little Epstein story? Obviously, you know, 99% of what I said is just fabricated, right? But it makes sense to me. It satisfies because there was all these holes. You know, Donald Barr was in the OSS, right? We have no clue whether he was in the CIA, but the fact that Bill Barr is the head of the CIA tells me that Don Barr was in the CIA. Type 1 if you agree. I'll tell you. I'm going to give you the points that we do know. Everything else was me weaving, right? All right. So you agree with that? Don Barr was one of the founders of the CIA, right? I think so. I think Don Barr was one of the founders of the CIA, right? We do know that Epstein was a math tutor for Bear Stearns' son. We do know that. We also know that Bear Stearns had a younger daughter. We do know that, right? So how does Epstein get to the school? Makes logical sense. Bear Stearns makes the introduction to Don Barr because he's doing such an amazing job for his son, teaching him math. Right, type of 1 if you agree. Does it line up? All right. We do know that, back in the day, all this girls fucking teachers and stuff like that was always the girl's fault, right? We do know that. Type 1, if you agree on that, right? Type 1, it's never the teacher's fault. It's always this would have been highly embarrassing for the Dalton School, which is the pristine. They wanted to keep things, tidy. So how you dealt with problems back there, you promote the guy. You promote him from teacher to actually working in the, Bear Stearns. Bear Stearns, that's where he was working on high lines. That's probably where he made the connection with Les Wexner, right? Dirty old Les Wexner, right? That's where we know that, right? That's where he made the connection up. But it seems likely that that would be where he had met Lex. Finally, he did leave, right? They wanted to get him out. He was probably still fucking Bear's daughter. So he's probably, the father was probably good friends with Don. Said, you got to get him out. Oh, get you in the FBI, get you in the CIA. We're going to have you do some action. and we do not know that's true. He had a passport from 82 to 87, and the only people who get an Austrian passport would have been intelligence services. And we do know that was the center of the Cold War, right? That's where the Cold War was happening, was right there. We do know Maxwell at the same time bought the computer company, right? That was selling software for Israel. It had spy software on it, right? That was just kind of up and coming. It was like the early Palantir software. We do know that. Most likely, all right, we don't have any evidence that he flew to Austria, but most likely he would have flown to Austria because that's where he would have pimped it out. That's where all the spy services, he would have gone there to try to get his software out. It's likely because it's a small community, he would have ran into Epstein. Epstein's a charmer. Probably Epstein would have seen his young daughter, who was just in college, been all over that, right? And then that's where that Ghislaine, and that's where I make the connection for Ghislaine. Again, type 1 if you agree. On that. So, and then we do know he was flying on his passport. It was stamped from Saudi Arabia, which is really odd. Why would Epstein be flying to Saudi Arabia? Well, as long that's just like a place for young girls. I mean, as long as they're not Muslim, you don't fuck with a Muslim girl. But if you're non-Muslim, all the 9-year-old Christian girls, oh yeah, Epstein. The 12-year-old Christian girls, oh wait, it sounds kind of like the MAGA ministers. The MAGA ministers like those 12-year-old girls, don't they? Trump's religious leader. Didn't he go to jail for a 12-year-old? Wasn't that the case? Right? The Christian men love to pimp out. I mean, shit. It was in the Bible, Share your daughters. Share your daughters. Yeah, CIA all through Saudi also. Well, he was going to Saudi Arabia, so I think he was going to Saudi Arabia to get girls, right? Because he would have been fine. He would have been scrutinized, but he would have been followed. People are like, why is he going to Saudi, right? Mossad would have followed him. The KGB, maybe Putin, was following him. Who knows? He would have been followed by Mossad because he was CIA. They would have wanted to know what the fucker was up to. And they're like, oh my God, he's a little pedo. Got Epstein, the little pedo. We got a CIA. And that's where they would have flipped him. They would have flipped him and brought him. They would have double agent, but so he had his claws in the CIA, then he would have been flipped. Good night, Santana. You can't, there's not enough, but you have to. The thing is you just got to look at probability. You got to look at game theory. You got to look at what we know on it, right? And create kind of a map of it. Does that make sense? Well, it's not that. I just, how I did it. This is how I did it, Santiago. How I did it was, listen. I said, listen. I listened 0102. We're gonna do a deep dive, and we're gonna do a deep dive into Epstein, and they will try to jump. No, don't jump. What was he doing in 75? What was he doing then? What? All right. And then it was like, once we did that parallel, then you do a parallel deep dive into Donald Barr. What was Donald Barr doing? And say he was writing that fucking pedo book, right? With graphic sex with underage. It was a very football book. I think that book was one of the reasons he got kicked out of Dalton, but there's no evidence of that. Because I think, having a principal writing a book where teenage, you're the headmaster of a school, and you got a space book coming out where teenage girls are being violently raped. Do you think that would go over well with the board of directors at a private school? Right. So on that, thanks a lot. All right, Cavalier, what's your story here? Channel activity. It's 10 years. All right. Give you a moderator. I don't know if you're not MAGA. Hope you're not MAGA. If you're MAGA, let me know. So yeah, so the power of AI right now is AI. You know, before you'd have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours researching. Now with AI, you can really prompt it and dive down and apply game theory to, you know, to time. You look at timelines, so you match timelines, and you can kind of run it, like run this timeline, and then you see the pattern, right? And then you point out to them, oh, look, there's a pattern here, pattern here. Look, those two patterns can come together. And that's all I did, right? So I looked at Maxwell's timeline. I looked at Epstein's timeline. I looked at, you know, the school timeline. Because I really think that, you know, even though it's not there, but we do know that Don wrote this disgusting space, you know, child rape book where there was it was super graphic. And I just cannot imagine, all right, you know, that, I mean, and then you can look at the psychology of that. And then you know how Epstein is, and you can imagine that Barr, Don Barr, Bill Barr's dad, and Epstein bonded as kind of a father-son, and he's got this crazy, you know, sex scene. How would have Epstein responded to that crazy ass sex scene? Positive. You know, oh my God, that was like the best sex scene ever. Oh, you know, and they would have bonded, right? Oh yeah, you know. It's the promotion of occupation. Yeah, and then the thing is why would someone who was kicked out, and this is another thing that didn't make sense, why would someone who gets kicked out of a school get promoted by, you know, by a parent of a child into his head, you know, get a promotion, no degree, no nothing, gets promoted into Bear Stearns, right? Because he was embarrassed. He didn't want the shit coming out that Epstein was fucking his daughter. Right? It was a promotion to get rid of a problem. But he was probably still, you know, having a relationship. Because see, back then, Epstein was honing his craft, right? He wasn't the rampant pedo. He had the teenage bopper girlfriend. He was satisfied, right? He was satisfied. He wasn't the monster yet. The monster would come later, when he is a CIA asset traveling to Saudi Arabia and having a harem of young girls, right? That would really get his appetite going, right? That would really get him going. Do you agree? Type 1, you agree? So back in the 70s and the early 80s, right? When he was at Dalton, he was, and I don't know, how about you? I mean, I had two fucking teachers. I had two teachers in my high school. When I went to high school, two teachers, right? One of them ran off with a fucking student. The other one married a fucking student. Married one of his students, right? I mean, it's happening now. It's going to be happening then. You know, I had two teachers. One of them ran off with a fucking student. Mr. Hartley married a damn student. On it, and that was in the late 80s, right? We're talking about the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. So all of the patterns there. That's my point. Is all the patterns there. I think it's interesting that even Putin. Now, no one's covered this. Putin was in Dresden in '85. And Epstein was from 82 to 87 was in that area. So, you know, so my question is, if Putin and Epstein run into each other, right? You know, and the KGB would have wanted to compromise. You know, it was all a game about getting shit on each other. And Epstein would have been the perfect CIA agent to basically, compromise. Would have been better. Did I graduate high school? Yeah, I did. I graduated top of my class in high school. I graduated numero uno for the boys. I had 2 girls over me though. I was the top. I was the top guy in the school. And then I went on and got double masters. I got a double masters. All right. That's you, buddy. That's you. I graduated in 87. 87 is when I graduated high school. '87. I get my and then I'm getting my undergraduate at Florida State. And then I got my undergraduate at Florida State in '96. I got my undergraduate in Florida State in '96. Hey, I took the slow plan, dude. There was so much girls there. There were so many girls at Florida State, dude. Oh my God, I was such a hoe. I was a hoe. I took my time. I took the 10-year plan to get my undergraduate degree. took my time. Oh, it was so much fun. Florida State University, all the smart girls there. I was a pro student. Well, I took off. I went to school. I went to Florida State for 2 semesters. By the end of my second semester, my GPA was a 1.4. Oh, it was a 0.4. I was a 0.4. I was overwhelmed, dude. When I went to Florida State, I was like, God, I'm gonna fail out. I had a 0.4 GPA. I fucking failed everything. I was just partying all the time. I was going out drinking. I was like, you go from like not being able to do shit, like little country town living in Homosassa. I was a Homosassa boy, right? Nothing to do. All of a sudden you're in the big Tallahassee. Oh my God, there's clubs and they had club park, I was like we were drinking in the dorm, partying all the fucking time. I was at Smith Hall, right? Every night was a party. Every night for the first 2 semesters. And I said to myself, God damn, I better get out of school. I better get out or I'm gonna, so at Florida State, and I dropped out. So I didn't sign up the next 2 years. It was like pointless. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was studying engineering. They had me taking all these I had like organic chemistry, calculus, had all this fucking hard shit. And I wasn't putting in the time to study, all this crazy shit, engineering, because when you're on the engineering, I was on the electrical engineering track. They preset you all this crazy shit. And you got to have your mindset and you got to be, be ready to study that shit. And I wasn't. So I took off and then I took a year off and then I went into Tallahassee Community College. And Tallahassee Community College, if you join Tallahassee Community College and you get your AA and then you return to Florida State, they wipe your GPA. So I went to Tallahassee Community College. I graduated with a 4.0 GPA. I did my 2 years, got my GPA, my AA 4.0 GPA, and then I went back into Florida State. And I also produced one of the largest Shakespeare festivals. I studied the National Theater in '94. I was studying at the National Theater with Ian McKellen. That's Gandalf. All right. Sir Anthony Hopkins, right? They heard of that guy. And Alan Rickman, the diehard British guy in Die Hard 1, who like falls out. That's Alan Rickman. He's dead. And I studied that in '94. I came back and produced one of the largest Shakespeare festivals, still going on today, called the Southern Shakespeare Festival. You can look it up in Wikipedia. And I graduated in '96, and then '97 I got a scholarship to go to the University of Alabama Tuscaloosa for a double degree, an MBA, MFA combined major. They only accept 3 students in the program, and I got accepted into it. Yeah, that's right. I'm Uber dad. So so that was a cool program. I love Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa was a fun town. Sometimes we got T-Town in here. T-Town's fun. Tallahassee was a fun town back then. I had a good time. I got it all out of my system. So does oats. So does oats. 99? Nice. Cool. Yeah, I didn't do shit. I'm not a big fan of university because I really never did anything with my degrees. You know, I got hired for a company. I guess I worked for a year for a company right after college. What am I risking? Who am I going to hit? Who am I going to hit? Who am I going to hit? I'm looking straight ahead. You think I'm looking at you. I got everything playing. Do you see these headsets? Everything I've said comes out audio. I'm such fool. Yeah, I'm very lucky. You know, it's good. I mean, Japan, the good thing about, I'm married, got 2 kids, got a great Japanese wife. We're gonna go grocery shopping now. I think my wife wants sushi. I'm gonna go pick up some sashimi from the grocery store. Now is like the best time. Best time to go grocery shopping in Japan is around 6:30. Because all of the price now, they're closing, the store's closing in a couple hours. So they're pricing down all your sushi, all your sashimi, all your steak. They're giving you a 30% discount on all produce. So that's why we're going to go there and get sushi there. It's all about location. That's right. I like you there. I like you. Let me add you. Let me give you your stat. Listen, we don't have moderators in here. If you're blue, you're a stakeholder. All it means is I've given you a fucking hammer. You see a dumbass, feel free to whack the motherfucker, right? I don't debate. This channel is not about debating dumb fucks. As you'll notice, you see dumb fucks get bitch slapped, they get hammered, right? So I just giving you a hammer, right? There's a point system I'm developing. I'm a crypto guy building some interesting shit. Bound-Ups is my company. So, yeah, Crystal Ziegler. She doesn't deal with anything. So we don't deal with dumb fucks in here. No dumb fucks. So I give you a hammer. Blue just means you have a hammer to bitch slap the dumb fuck, right? Get them out of here. No, they're just dumb. Think of it as kind of like, anyone ever heard of Buddhism, right? In Buddhism, think of it called Zazen. Zazen is when you are a Buddhist student, right, and you fuck up, you're there trying to meditate or you're falling asleep or whatever, the monk carries a stick, right, and the monk whacks you on the shoulder pretty fucking hard. That's what you're doing is Zazen. You're bitch slapping just like a monk would say, wake the fuck up, dumbass. Go chill. So you're doing a service to these MAGA dumb fucks. But Trump is really royally fucked the world up. I mean, he's really royally fucked the world. Hegemony. Was hegemon? Is that the word? Hegemon. America was a hegemon. We basically were the emperor of the world, and we're losing that position. What's going to happen is Iran is going to force countries to choose. Iran isn't going to start until there is going to be a purging of U.S. bases out of the Middle East. Iran is going to force America to leave, or they're going to keep attacking. Dubai, all these places, the people that live there were all millionaires. They're all leaving. They're all getting the fuck out. They're fleeing. They're going to Portugal. They're getting the fuck out. I got friends from there. They knew this shit was coming. True. He sure is killing the world. Yeah, and here's what's really crazy. I mean, he literally is the Antichrist. I mean, think about it. Well, Trump is the literal Antichrist. He doesn't have not one modicum of fucking Christ in him, not Jesus, right? He doesn't have one modicum of Christ. He's literally the literal antithesis of Jesus. If you want to look at, if you want to compare the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of Trump, there's no overlap. They're completely dialectic. They're thesis, antithesis, right? Thesis, Jesus, like Antichrist, antithesis is Trump, right? They're complete opposite. And just like in the Revelations, you got all this shit going on, It's like Damien. Look at Damien. Remember Damien becomes president of America? It's like fucking Trump is Damien, just without the magical powers, without the demonic powers. It's insane. And it's like, Trump hates all these billionaires. Trump hates all these billionaires. So what he's doing to these, really what he's doing is fucking over the billionaires. He's fucking over their world. He's fucking over capitalism, right, which is their lifeline. He's grifting everything. He's acting like the mob boss, right? He's really destroying the billionaires' world. He's getting the people riled up. Because all these individuals, like in Saudi Arabia and Dubai, the leadership of these countries are the minority. Right? Saudi Arabia are a minority. The vast majority of people, don't hate but don't love Iran. I mean, there's Sunni communities, everything else. So they're in a very tough position because these slaves, these workers, these individuals that they've had slave building these regions. As soon as water gets cut off, as soon as hardship, everything else, they're going to rise up. They're going to fucking lynch these. They don't have enough. They don't have a big enough army to control. And this is what Iran knows. Iran knows that literally they have America by the balls. There's really nothing you can do at this stage, America. And see Trump, and it's kind of like the trap. It's like they trapped Trump. They trapped Trump into attacking them, right? They had all this time to prepare. They've got all this decentralized system. They're not a pyramid, right? Understand, Iran has 50 levels of command. If so-and-so dies, you're in control. If so-and-so dies, you're in control. Like 50 levels deep. It goes all the way down to the fucking private, right? And, so there's no such thing as killing the guy and then, having, people rising up. And if anything, the people that would rise up are all being killed. They rose up. They've been shot. They did a purging. They purged all the lefties. All the radicals got purged, when they were protesting. That was a purging. They purged them all. There is no more lefties in their country. They got them all purged. All right, welcome to the channel. Yep. So, so now, and probably because of those that died, they probably figure they probably, hunted them down and everything else. So America's in a very, very, very bad situation right now. And then you got on top of that, you look at what's going on with Israel, and that shit's insane. I mean, they started a new war with Hamas. Not Hamas, the other one, Hezbollah, and they're going after it's not going to work out for them, dude. They're creating a two-front war. They're let's attack Iran, and then let's attack fucking Lebanon. This is so dumb. I don't know. This is insane. It's insane. The people in Iran. Let's go get some food here on that. Welcome to the channel, Corey. Again, we don't have moderators in here. I just give you a hammer. If you see a dumb fuck, feel free to whack him. No dumb fucks allowed in here. No MAGA dumb fucks on there. Yeah, Donna. There's already a movement in BRICS. Iran has already said that, hey, if you want to trade in yuan, then you want to trade in yuan, then you're more than welcome to come in. I mean, they're letting ships in. They're letting Pakistani ships are going through, right? It's not a full control on it. The only winner right now, is Putin. Putin is the only winner. I mean, he's getting crazy amounts of money from. One second, I'm getting hot. It's rainy here. Gotta move. It's cold. Woo! This is a plant. Everyone's in jackets except for this dumbass. I'm in a fucking t-shirt. Everyone's still wearing winter gear because I got my fat on me. I don't need to wear a jacket. I got blubber. Here's a grocery. Look at it. Look at all the people. Ooh, the tomatoes are coming out. The strawberries. God damn, that looks like a nice melon. Wonder if I should get this melon. Should I? Oh, these aren't melons. These are grapefruits, aren't they? They're grown in Japan. Look at that. They're really big old. Is that what's called a pomelo? All right, let's run down, get food. My wife likes that. Let's just go get food and get out of here. I quit milk. So I got my family off milk. We're not drinking milk anymore. I tell you, the one thing I don't like about Japan is this here. This is their cheese. I love cheese. This is pretty much it for cheese. Right? I'm glad I was buying a lot of this. This cheese was like $3. It's gone up again. I guess they were like trying to get rid of it. This is it. This is it for cheese in Japan. That's it. That's it. That's all the cheese. One thing I do miss about America is their cheese selection. Look, seaweed. Look, they have seaweed here. Look, salmon. They got tons of fish here. Big fish eaters in Japan. Ooh, look at that crab. Look at that crab meat there. But this is what we're going to go right here. This is what we're getting right here. Look at that. Half price. Half price. Look at that. Half price, dude. Look at that. Look at that big old chunk of meat. Big old chunk of meat for like $5. Look at this. Half price. Look at that. Everything's half price. Ooh. Perfect timing. I said now's the time to come here. All right, that's it. That's dinner. Got dinner. Very cheap, much cheaper. Well, you tell me. This is this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is sushi dish here. It was normally about $5. Now it's like $2.80 for that. $2.80. Can you buy that for $1? Let's see, that's like 180. So this is like $1. This is like $1.50. Or I don't know, $1.80. I know. So it's like this all under $3. Everything there is under $3. Look, this is half price too. My wife likes this stuff too for her bento. Oh look, big thing of pineapple, half price. My wife likes this stuff. Everything's like they've got everything at half price. So it's raining. The reason why is it's raining, right? It's so usually it's 30%. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, half price. My wife likes that. It'll be all. Oh, that looks good. Chicken looks good. So yeah, knowing when to come shopping, you save so much money. And this is the steak area. Nothing. I don't unless it's look 30% off here. Unless it's this would be great for cheesesteak. Look at that cheesesteak there. I don't like Japanese. This is Wagyu. Look, it's so fatty. I'm too I don't like it that much. But my family loves this. This is tongue. All right, let's go. This Japanese steak here. Oh, that's 30% off. Look at that. That big old steak. I like that. This is Japanese steak. It's not a Wagyu. It's a nice steak. That's a $7 steak right there. Look at that. That's a good fucking steak for $7, don't you think? Isn't that good? Normally, normally it was $11, but it's like $7. Yeah, dude, get your passport. Get your passport. You can buy homes here if you can get homes here so cheap. You can get used homes, property, land. You can yeah, very reasonable. All right, let's go. Look, my wife loves this too. Look, she's lowering. Look, she's lowering the price. She's actually making it 50% off. Wow, look at that eel. Look at the eel. I love eel, dude. Normally that was $7. It's $3 for a fucking eel. Oh my god. I'm glad I fucking came. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. It's raining. See, it's raining right now. No one wants to go shopping. Let's see here. Muffins. Oh, even my muffins are discounted. What's some? What's up, love? How big? Huge. Huge. Houses in Japan are big, but you don't want a big house, dude. For $250,000, you get a big house. You can live. You can buy a good size. I mean, how big do you need? Yeah. So this is Japanese eel for $3. Japanese eel for $3. Yeah. Osaka. What's up, love? How you doing? Osaka is a fun town. Love for rainy. Welcome to. Nice. What year are you in, love? Yeah, so grocery shopping around 6:30, like in Plant or others. You contact me on my description. You can contact me on my description. You can my LinkedIn. Best way to contact me is via LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, contact me via LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn pretty much every day. I'm automating it with open call. I'm not much of an email person, so LinkedIn is best, or Discord. If you go to foundups.org, Foundups is found, UPS, foundups.org. You can contact me on that too. Oh, いいよ、大丈夫。はい。Okay. Problem was when the Huckle. We get a box. Let me make a box real quick. All right, let's put that here. Hey, お願いします。
ありがとうございます。
はい。
6368円の買い上げでございます。
はい、クレート。はい、ありがとう。はい、ありがとうございます。はい。All right, we got to go home and feed the wife now and the son. Japan loves Diddy. They don't know who Diddy is, Lucky. Lucky. They know who Diddy is. Who gives a fuck? Diddy is a crazy person. Yeah, I just live my life. Go about. Thanks, Crystal. We try to have a good time in this channel, whacking a bunch of dumb fucks. Good to see you. How long you been in Osaka? How long you been in Osaka? God damn. Where did I park? Right here. We have fun whacking dumb fucks. That's what we like a. That's not me. I'm trying to go in this car. I'm about to get in this car, and I was like, dude, I don't have a roof rack on my car. Fuck it. Will cars stop parking my car? Cars need to stop parking next to me, even though I do want that roof rack. I was like, I don't remember my things were in. That's the second time. I was at a convenience store. I was in a convenience store yesterday. I came out of the convenience store and started to get, and I was like, this is not my door. I opened the door. It was someone else's truck. And they parked right next to mine, looked exactly like my car, except I could tell when I opened the door it wasn't my car. And the guy came out like looking at me going, what are you doing? Whereabouts in Florida? I'm a Florida guy too. I went to Florida State. I went to high school in north of Tampa, a little town called Homosassa. Homosassa. Oh, Fort Walton Beach. Fort Walton Beach. That's like over by Trump, isn't it? Fort Walton. Or is that south of Tampa? I never know. I don't know Tampa. I don't know Florida that well. Panhandle. Oh, Panhandle. Up by right by Tallahassee. Pensacola. Fort Walton Beach. Oh, I used to love going to Pensacola. It was cool going to Pensacola because it would only take you an hour to get there, but it'd take you fucking 3 hours to get back. Oh, you get the Pensacola the party, but goddamn, it'd take a long time to get back. We'd get out of class, jump in the car, have a case of beer with us, drink all our way down, drink as we're fucking flying down to Pensacola. It only takes an hour from Tallahassee, and then it'll take fucking 3 hours to get back, or two, whatever, an hour and a half. It was like great because of the time zone. You'd go in Central Time. Good times. And those roads were dead. 21 years. 21 years. I moved here. I didn't think we'd get anyone dumber than Bush. I thought, oh, goddamn Bush, I'm getting out of here. Goddamn Bush Jr. Bush Jr. It's like America. I was like, America's cooked. America's cooked. We're electing dipshits like, like Bush, Bubba, whatever, W on there. I had a dream. I had a very, very vivid dream when I was in the middle of which I thought was my Romeo and Juliet. I was in Boston at the time. Very vivid dream that I was married to a beautiful Japanese woman. I had two beautiful boys, and the dream came true. I chased the dream, and it came true. On there. How are you liking Osaka? Osaka is a fun town. I mean, if you're a single person, Osaka, those Osaka girls are crazy. Yeah. Lots of things to do in Osaka. Yeah, Japan is amazing. You come here, you don't want to leave. Oh, yeah, unbelievable. The food is amazing. Like there, it's like my son's boxing right now, so I'm gonna run home, feed my wife, feed my 18-year-old. Then I gotta jump in the car, run and pick his ass up. So I got a feisty wife. Chris will tell you, my wife's really feisty. She's funny. I got the funny. My wife gets so angry, and all I do is smile. That's a secret about a happy relationship. When your wife gets angry, you gotta find the humor in it. You gotta find the humor in it. And if you do it long enough, then it basically most of the time, not always, but it unwinds her. Because you unwind with a smile and a laugh. You undo with a smile and a laugh. Dow, help, do, serve. Undow, do. That's my mantra. I go by undow, do, which is my mantra. I'm no longer Mike Trout. You can call me Mike, but I'll respond to it. But I'm really undow, do. Yeah. Well, oh no. Well, oh shit. What are we gonna do? Fuck yeah, I'm against the Iran war. Japan gets 95% of their oil. Japan is in an existential threat. If Japan government hadn't released 40% of their reserves, they released 40% of their reserves into the market, right? Japan oil would probably be at 250 right now. Japan is in a very, very serious situation. Yeah. Well, Fukui is not as bad. I live in rural Japan, love. I live in rural. I wouldn't. I see, love. I would say, it's all a ruse, right? It's a ruse. She grew. You understand? Japan. They're like, who? We need someone who's going to be able to deal with Trump, right? We need someone close to Trump. Who? They do a psychological profile. You need a Margaret Thatcher. She was a punk. She's playing Trump. They're playing Trump. She's playing the role being close to Trump. She's not close to Trump. That's just a role, right? They're very smart. They're like, let's put someone in. That's why she's in power. She's used to dealing with the conservative males. She had to probably sleep her way all the way up to the top. Who knows? If it means sucking little Donnies, whatever it takes to get what's good for Japan. But I don't believe for once that she has any fucking respect for that guy. Not once, right? She is there to serve the Japanese people, and she's going to do whatever it takes to serve the people of Japan. Yeah, she leading him around when he came to visit Japan, but they're not going to send troops. They're not going to send troops to Iran. Here, you'll see her now. You'll see how she responds. They're not going to send troops to Japan. They're not going to send Japanese to die, right, for Trump's bullshit. And if she does, then I'll be wrong. And maybe she is. I got it read all wrong, but I don't think I do. She'd have asked for. He's asked for troops. I got an 18-year-old. Last thing I want her calling up a fucking, what it's called, conscription on that. Oh yeah, and she butted heads with China. Look what she did with China. Yeah, I know. Because America's overextended. I actually made a prediction last year. I game theoried it out with AI that the best time for for China to make a move on Taiwan would be this summer, fall, gearing up to the elections, right? Would be the perfect time. Trump, and based on the game theory I did with AI, the AI said it was about a 30% chance that it could happen, 30%. Now, because of Iran, I bet if I game theoried it out, it's probably popped up another, probably another 40, 50 points. 80% likelihood that China makes a move. And the thing is, see, what has given them the perfect out. They're going to do a police action to remove the illegal government that's in control, right? That's what they're going to do, a police action, just like we did in Venezuela. Just like we did. These are illegal. They don't have the mandate of China. We're going in there, removing them. And we're going to put in an intermediary government. We're not going to touch the fabs. That's what I think. That's going to be their play. And they can just use the U.S. playbook. Yep. Yep. And we're moving our rockets out in North Korea. Fired off 10. I bet your sirens. Did your sirens go off on that? Did your sirens go off for the 10 missiles? We don't have sirens here. Did they go off for the 10 ballistic missiles they sent over into the ocean towards Japan. Yeah, it's you know Trump is really no, exactly. They've got this is you know we never could take the part of Afghanistan that was all mountainous. We tried to go in there. We got pushed out every fucking time. There is no all of Iran pretty much is mountainous, right? They have 900 miles of coast overlooking Mars. I call Saudi Arabia, Dubai. They have close to 2,000 desalination plants. They're such a I mean, these Gulf states, can't do shit. They can't do shit. And as soon as hard shit comes down and they can't pay their all their indentions, they've got massive slaves. The whole society is full of what amounts to be slave, very cheap labor, propping up all these billionaires working on. And as soon as they get their unemployment goes up, they're going to be pulling out the pitchforks. It is not. I mean, America has lost this war. They cannot win this war. And Trump has such a fucking ego. He's not going to let it go, and he's going to take the whole fucking world down with him. No, ain't going to happen, Noble. See, that's an example. All right. There you go. You want soy sauce or anything with it or no? What do you want with it, Mama? For the thing, what sauce do you want with it? Chopsticks. Those are. Are you gonna eat both of them, Tommy? Huh? That, no, Mikey's got his in the thing. I got two. You want to eat two? All right. All right, let's go. So, what's up, Hans? How you doing? How you doing? Look, I got my look at these gorgeous candied oranges. Mm, so good. I got more cooking in here. Well, mm. I got some more in here, Hans, too. Hold on. I'm playing around with chocolate ones too. Well, I guess I'll freeze these. They'll eat them whenever. Mm, mm, mm. All right. All right, so good. Hans, how's the gas situation in Manila? I've never tried dehydrated fruit. No, it's so good. God damn, that chicken's so good. You can have another one. You know, barbecuing it on the outside gives it kind of a charcoal flavor to it. So nice. Mm. Did you study your driving today? No. What do you mean? You don't have an off day. No off day, right, Mama? It's off day today. Every day you got to study. Hmm. This is vegetable. Huh? Yeah, mandatory. But gas is bad, isn't it? Isn't gas bad in Manila now? He's doing all right. He's doing all right. Mm, that's so good. A little charred broiled on the outside. Al, here you go, Al. I'll give you that side. What's getting gaslight? Han. That side's for you, Al, right there. Take that big old bite right there. It's good. What happened to the dog's owner? Die? He's the ape guy, right? That guy? Isn't he the monkey guy or no? Did he die? Oh, he did? COVID. Mama, you done with this? What are you not eating your thing for? Nande? Nande? Bye-bye. Nani. Nani. It's sleeping now. It's busy. All right, let's go get Mikey. God, I'm still hungry. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? What? Are you done with your thing there, Mama? Are you done? What that? Mm-hmm. Mm. Hey. You done with that or no? You what that? You're done. Oh, I appreciate it. That was really tasty. Mm, I love tempura. This is broccoli tempura. Really good. Have to be careful with your ankle. All right, let's go. What's wrong with Dan? Ryan, you love. Ugh. Ugh. I got my look. I got my kombucha. Listen. Yeah, actually, you're right. All right, let's go. Oh shit, let's go get the speaker so we have music. My speaker not up here? God damn it. Huh? Upstairs. Oh, Tommy, you got mail. You got mail.
So, you All right. Let's get some fake fuck Christian Peter loving Nazi music going. All right. Let us. All right, let's go. Look at that. Taking a poop. Antifa. That's Antifa. There's Antifa right there.
Que se joda el violador, en jefe con su sonrisa de depredador. Que se jodan los estafadores, cripto y las mentiras que tejen. Que se jodan los Proud Boys marchando con sus antorchas de odio. Que se joda cada perdón que Trump firmó en su nombre. Que se jodan los cristofascistas predicando odio desde los bancos. Que se jodan los oligarcas con buscando políticos para usar. Que se jodan los tecnócratas creyéndose por encima de la ley. Que se jodan los extremistas de derecha. Que se jodan todos en crudo. Fake fuck Christians, pedo loving Nazis. Fuck your agenda and your fucking atrocity. Fake fuck Christians, pedo loving Nazis. We coming for the throne. Watch it fall to pieces. Que se joda la clase multimillonaria con su viaje libre de impuestos. Que se jodan los senadores, la membota sin nada por dentro. Que se joda el culto maga bebiendo veneno cada día. Que se jodan los títeres mediáticos hilando mentiras por paga. Que se jodan los campos fronterizos y la máquina de crueldad. Que se joda la Corte Suprema coronando un régimen fascista. Que se joda el silencio de cobardes que deberían gritar fuerte. Que se joda cada cara en esa multitud de gorra.
Yeah, don't forget to give Antifa FM a follow. Give Antifa FM a follow. Should we? Do you guys want to redo the stream so we can get some? MAGA turds in here. Should we reboot it? Should we reboot? You guys get a reboot? I'll reworm the channel. Let's reworm the channel. Let me pull over right here. We're gonna reworm. We'll pull around here, reworm it. We're gonna reworm the channel. I'll be back. Go get yourself your beer, whatever the fuck you're doing. Get your coffee, get your shit, shower and shave. Let me see if I can get some of these fuckers turds in here. I'll be right back.